am Heather Jackson. I am an ultra trail runner for HOKA, and I am here in Tucson, Arizona, training for the Javelina 100 trail run coming up very soon. Yeah, today I did a mini version of a workout that I used to do leading into Kona. It was always my Sunday long run. And the Kona version was mimicking the hill on the Kona Hawaii Ironman run course, Palani Road. And it falls at about mile 10 of the run. And you have to get up this pretty steep hill. And for triathletes, that's like the hill. Now that I'm in trail running, you're like getting up mountains, but this was like the hill you had to prep for. And so I would mimic getting up Palani and straight into kind of a rolling 10K tempo effort. Again, simulating getting the legs going off of that hill effort. And I would do that 2 times through. We're 10 days out from Javelina. Not so much about kind of trying to find any more fitness necessarily, but just kind of keeping the legs going, keeping the hill, like neuromuscular movement, like striding up, keeping those hills in there, and then just kind of hitting that tempo pace until it feels good, you feel solid, and shutting it down. So I did 5 hills today into a 10-minute tempo. We did that twice through. Since my transition from triathlon and running on the road for most triathlons, I try to like now bring in trail elements, and by that I just mean I did the hills on somewhat of a dirt trail in and out of a wash here that's really close to our home here in Tucson. So a little bit of technical work. They're short hills, so it's really not much, but a little bit more trail work for me, someone who doesn't have that kind of background. And also just keeping the tempo work on also not just like a flat path. So really trying to work on the hills, work on terrain that I'll face in trail races. Javelina specifically isn't the most technical trail run out there. It's very runnable, but there are some segments that have some rocky portions. So this weekend is the Big Sugar gravel race. It's 104 miles around Bentonville, Arkansas. It's the last stop of the Lifetime Grand Prix. I mean, it's certainly not ideal, probably 100 miles riding 1 week out from Javelina, but I'm also coming from a decade of doing that in terms of riding and running. It will certainly still be a very hard effort at Big Sugar, but it's a different type. It's very punchy and kind of all in and then recover. It's much different than, say, if I was gonna go do a triathlon and time trial 112 miles. That's me on my limit, pushing 210 watts for 5 hours, just digging. Again, it is a final big effort. I'm also using it mentally for Javelina of 6 hours, so practicing fueling, 6 hours of working out ahead of, I won't do much the rest of the 6 days leading into Javelina. It's also not running, so it's not the pounding time on feet, but yeah, it's definitely that balance has been tricky to kind of navigate this year. Just about to head out for run number 2 of the day, which it's just gonna be an easy shakeout, pretty much at the heat of the day, which is great for Javelina prep. It's an easy shakeout, 15 minutes up, flip, come back. Honestly, the craziest part about this lead into Javelina has been that it is yeah, 1 year, my 1 year anniversary of joining the amazing trail running community. I keep thinking back to last year's Javelina and I'm almost like, is that naivety better than knowing what's ahead? Because honestly, I had no idea. So this year now knowing what is ahead, it's a little bit daunting. Yeah. I think the biggest thing I took away from last year was just someone coming from a triathlon background without kind of constant downhill pounding. And I remember last year's final lap of Javelina and it was it was tough. I 100% wanted to do Javelina since it's a golden ticket race. My wristband was cut at Western States in June. It was, okay, what are the golden ticket races? So Javelina for me, not only is it kind of a 1 year anniversary of being a part of the trail running community, it was an incredible event. I had so much fun, but it's also one of the more runnable courses out there. So for me at this point in my trail running, I guess, career, it made the most sense. My ultimate goal is to hopefully get one of the two in 10 days time.
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever.